Now that I've officially taken my YouTube channel full time, I've been funneling a lot more money through my normal business checking account that I have with Novo. And that account is the one that I got started with as soon as I started making money from this channel and set it up as an LLC. While that account has a bunch to offer, especially when it comes to like the invoicing tools that they have, as well as how it automatically sets aside reserves for me for my tax purposes at the end of the year, the one issue I have with it is that it does not give me any interest for my money that's just sitting in that account. So recently I started my hunt to find a business checking account that I could use in order to actually give me some kind of APY on my money sitting in my accounts, because even if I could find something really small, at least it does help me at least somewhat battle inflation a bit. Being a credit card enthusiast, there was one business checking account I had already heard of with a lender that I personally really like, that of course being the Amex Business Checking account. Lo and behold, this account does give a small but mighty 1.3% APY on all of your cash sitting in your account. Plus it also comes with an Amex membership reward point welcome offer for a business checking account, which is kind of crazy. That being said, in today's video I will be applying live for the Amex Business Checking account, showing y'all the extremely confusing setup process through my desktop as well as in Amex's apps. And I'll also give you a breakdown of how all three of the Amex apps that I have now to make this account work properly integrate with each other. That way, if you're looking to get this account, you kind of know what you're going to have to expect before you get too far into it. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and send y'all back in time so you can watch my past self apply for this account live and show y'all that full setup process that we just discussed. Let's go ahead and dive into the application process of this checking account so we can see, if I can get it for myself and also help y'all get into this account as well if there's something you want to do. So first things first, you just have to navigate over to the Amex Business Checking account page. And whenever you click that first link that brings you to Amex's actual website, you're going to see this screen here. Granted, if you apply for it at a different time, there may be an elevated sign up offer compared to what I have here, but everything else should look, fairly similar. But once we get here, we can look at some of the, key details of this account just so y'all know what it is. For me right now, I'm going to go ahead and get 30,000 Amex membership rewards points after qualifying activities, which I'm going to see the details for below. But what this account will give me in terms of rewards and benefits on top of that is going to be 1.3% APY on balances up to $500,000. For me, that's going to be plenty of cap. I'm not going to, worry about hitting that right now at least. But the nice thing about this is that not every single business checking account is going to even give you any APY at all, which makes this one pretty nice. It's actually the reason I'm applying for it in general. I do have a business checking account right now, but I'm not earning any APY on that. So I figured I might as well open this account and put some of my checking in there. That way I'm at least earning something. And I do love Amex's ecosystem, so I want to get some more experience with their products. On top of that, you have no monthly maintenance fees, which is great. You don't want fees on your accounts. And you have the 24/7 support from specialists, which is obviously really nice because they are Amex's specialists who are great. However, one of the more important things is, okay, how do I get that welcome bonus on this account? This is going to tell you exactly how to do that. If you scroll down a bit, the first thing you have to do is achieve an account balance of $5,000 or more from eligible deposits within 30 days of opening your first account. And there's a couple more steps, but let's go ahead and see what eligible deposits are. What it says here is that eligible deposits are any deposits except deposits using our redeem for deposits feature, deposits from interest payments, and deposits from any other American Express business checking accounts. That was a lot of times I had to say deposits right there, so now it doesn't even sound like a real word. But the nice thing about that is that since I do have that other business checking account, I can just directly deposit $5,000 into this account and reach that threshold right away. However, there is a trick I want to implement later rather than just putting $5,000 in it in one transaction, so we're going to see that in a little bit. After that though, you just have to maintain an average account balance of $5,000 for the next 60 days. So of course, just don't take the money out for 60 days. Or if you are planning on spending money out of this account, then you need to deposit obviously more than $5,000 because you have to have that average account balance of $5,000 for 60 days. And then the last one, which is always the most annoying when it comes to these bank account bonuses, is that you have to make 5 or more qualifying transactions within 60 days of opening your account. Now, while you might think that the 5 qualifying transactions can be using the debit card that comes with this account, you'd actually be wrong. Let's go ahead and see what these qualifying transactions are. It says that they are mobile deposits, check deposits by mail, and electronic/online transactions including ACH, wire, and bill payments. Business debit card transactions and deposits using our redeem for deposits feature are not qualifying transactions. So this is where the trick is going to come in that I was talking about just a second ago. What I want to do is go ahead and set up some ACH transfers in my other business checking account. And of course, I'm going to set up 5 of them in order to transfer over that $5,000 that I want in this account to go ahead and hit that bonus. And since ACH is one of the options that they list here as being a valid way to do this should all work fine for me, as long as I do it correctly. It looks like with this account, you can also reinvest in your business by converting MR points into deposits directly in this account. Now, I imagine the redemption rate for that is not good, but I can't confirm that right now. If y'all know about that, leave it in the comments, but I wouldn't want you to get stuck redeeming all of your Amex points in this account for the normal 0.6 cents per point that Amex points are usually worth, in cashback form that is. Personally, I'm going to be sticking to transferring all my Amex points out to travel partners unless, something comes up where I want to use my points in another way, but I guess it's cool that this is a feature that they have. It also has a cool calculator down here where you can say, depending on how much you deposit, how much interest you will earn over the course of a year. And that's really just basic math that, compounds over time, but still pretty cool that you do get some interest on your accounts. Now there's a bunch of other stuff that you can go down here to look at if you want to, learn more about it. I think one of the cooler things is that it does have this debit card, which I think looks really nice. And with the debit card, you actually do earn 1 Amex membership reward point for every $2 spent on any debit card transactions. If you're doing the math correctly, then yes, you're only getting 0.5% back on every single one of those purchases, which is why, obviously we always want to use a credit card anyway. But if you had to make a debit card transaction, at least you're getting some rewards. So now that we've seen all of that, I'm going to go ahead and click apply now so we can go through with this application. First screen I get greeted with is welcome to American Express Business Checking. As of right now, it looks like that you have to have an American Express card in order to be eligible to get one of these accounts. If you do not have an Amex card yet, then you have to just join the wait list to be informed when the applications are open for everybody. And I did actually watch Mark Reese's video on this account recently, and he also said that he got this screen whenever he applied, and that was back in December of 2022. So the wait list is, you might be on it for a while. You can also continue a saved application down here if you started this earlier, but obviously for us, I'm going to go ahead and click log in since I am an Amex customer, and we're going to follow through with the application. So this is actually a pretty cool feature. It lets you go ahead and start your application and pre-fill everything in based on one of the cards that you've applied for recently. So for me, this is going to work out really nicely because I just applied for my American Express Amazon Business Prime card like a couple weeks ago. So I can go ahead and pre-fill all this information into my application without having to do any extra work. I'm going to go ahead and follow through with that method because I literally just filled this out and no information should have changed since then. But you can skip this step and do this completely from scratch if that's something you want to do. Once I selected that method, it's going to go ahead and pre-populate some of my information here since I'm logged into my account. But what they'll ask from you first is going to be, all of your general personal information like your social security number, your business email, first, last name, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out and then I'll get back to you in just a second. Once I click continue at the bottom of that screen, it just has me verify my contact information, and assuming that all looks good, you can go ahead and click this box here and then continue. Then it gives you a disclosure here once you click that continue button to, go ahead and go through with the process, but basically just tells you why they need to collect the information that they do. Obviously there's no getting around this, so I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And then it's basically going to ask you everything about your business here so that they can, prove that it is a real business and give you a business checking account associated to this business. The first stuff that they ask you for is going to be the easy stuff like your business address and stuff like that. But then you come down to the legal business structure, in which they actually give you a lot of different options here, which I like. Like for example, usually single member LLC is not one of the options that somebody provides you whenever you go through with an application like this. But luckily they give you a lot of options in this application, which I love. I'll be going with the single member LLC here because that's what I am. Then after that, it's going to ask you for your industry, which can be a bunch of different things here. Obviously just pick which one applies to your business the most. Then like every other business card or business bank account application, I feel like it's going to ask you for your annual revenue. So you put that in there. Then one thing I haven't really seen before is that it does ask you for the purpose of this account. So as you can see here, it gives you multiple different options you can choose from, and just pick whichever one applies most to you here. Next, it's going to ask us a few questions that pertain directly to the business, like if this company does business outside of the US, if this business will send or receive ACH from outside of the US, if your business will receive wire transfers from outside of the US. Then it'll ask you some drop-down questions specific to your business, like the number of debit or credit transactions expected per month, both in and out of this account. The options here are going to be, very wide actually, so you just pick whatever applies to you. And the same question applies to the wire transfers and ACH payments associated with this account that you think will come up. This is a really long application here, but let's keep going through it. The next thing they ask you is what products or services are offered by the business. Looks like you just put in a quick summary here in a text field. It asks if you provide any money services or if you engage in any internet or gambling activity. And after that, you're kind of done answering all those miscellaneous questions, and it gets more back into the normal business application stuff, where it then asks for your tax identification number. Since I pre-filled out this application, mine's already going to be in there, but for you, it's going to ask you to type it in, obviously. Now from Mark's video, I remember seeing that if you are a sole proprietor, you're allowed to put in your social security number in this line, of course. If not, you just put your EIN or TIN in this line. Then it gives you an optional way to put in your business URL if you want to. I'm not going to be doing that, but you can. And then lastly, it'll ask if this company operates under a DBA or a doing business as name. If you have not applied for a DBA under your business, then the answer is going to be no here. You don't just pick a random name that you think sounds cool and then go with it. That's not how it works. Then I guess we might as well continue down here. I thought we were close to done, but nope, we still got like a whole page left. Now it wants you to tell them about your beneficial owners. So this pertains to personal information to you or anybody else that directly or indirectly owns 25% or more of the business, or just somebody that controls that much of your finances. So the applicant information looks like it's going to fill out all of my information here, which is, obviously what you're going to do if you have not pre-filled out the application. And the stuff that is not pre-filled out for me is going to be the role for the first thing. And for me, it'll be an owner since I'm a single member LLC, but yours might be different. And then it did not pre-fill out my date of birth, so I'll type that in, but all the other business information is already typed in for me. Then it asks you two quick questions here at the end, asking if you have direct or indirect ownership of at least 25% of the company. Theoretically, that's going to be yes for basically everybody here. And then the next natural question after that they ask you is if anybody else has direct or indirect ownership of at least 25%, not including yourself. After that, it asks you to review the below document documents, which is one going to be a W-9 or withholding status, and then secondly, the business checking account agreement. As you can see here, it just basically fills out a quick contract for you to read over and make sure you understand. So I'd read through the terms on both of these. And then once you do that, you can check this box here and then submit the application. Let me go back up and fill out all of my information. This might take me a bit because this is one of the longest applications I've ever seen, and it's just for a business checking account. So kind of crazy to me. But once I fill that out, I'll get back to y'all and we'll go ahead and submit this and hopefully get instantly approved for it and just be able to start using it. However, I did see on Mark Reese's video once again that he did get a pending review thing. And then after that, it took like 2 days for him to get officially approved for the business checking account. But hopefully it doesn't work that way for me. But if it does, so be it. All right, now that I went ahead and put in all of that personal information, I'm going to go ahead and click submit here in 3, 2, 1. It's going to go ahead and process my application and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, this is taking a while. All right, probably close to like 30 seconds in at this point, just so y'all are aware. Good thing we have the magic of editing because this thing is taking forever. Holy cow, dude. I should have timed this. It's going to be a record for the longest wait I've ever had to do. Got Odin opening up the blinds. It's getting insane over here. Golly, I guess I'll answer some comments or something. This is wild. Ah, nice. Got the exact same decision screen as Mark Reese did. So I guess it's going to take a little bit longer for them to process it. I mean, I guess I'll come back here and check this later today, but they said they will notify me by email. So I might just, wait till that comes in and maybe screenshot it or something so y'all can see the decision that's made. But hopefully all goes well and I can start, depositing some money in here and, we'll see when that time comes. Well, literally 1 minute later, probably not even that, I got an email from them saying that my application was approved and my account is now open. So I guess I can go ahead and access it, go ahead and click on this login button and see what happens. Nice. Okay, there we go. It brought me straight to the manage tab within this, upper ribbon here. Looks like here I can do exactly what it says and manage my account, all the different things here that I might need. However, I'm going to go to the home page here so we can see, more about this account. The first thing that popped up was this activate your new dashboard now button. So it looks like it actually allows me to track my cash flow, manage your business checking account and business cards all in one place. Takes less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. And nice. I guess I got a error message for clicking the link it told me to click, so that's cool. So since that didn't work, I went ahead and re-logged into my account, and now you can see here that I'm on the main home screen of the American Express business checking account page. At this point, it shows me my available balance as well as my current balance, and then also my current APY and interest earned year to date, which I think is really nice to be able to see. On the main page, I also have my transactions here and all of my membership rewards information. Looks like it's just like none of it's updated yet after I just recently opened the account within minutes. So hopefully in the future this all updates and it looks a lot better, because right now it's just very blank, but it's still pretty clean. Okay, interesting. So I went through a different link and was able to set up that blueprint thing that it gave me an error message for before, and now my account looks completely different. I'm not exactly sure how this all works, but this looks a lot better than the other screen did. Looks like now the account, the business checking account, shows up right here at the bottom of my list of all of my Amex accounts, so that's cool. And what I can see here is all the cash flow in and out of this account every single month, as well as my total Amex membership rewards points, upcoming expenses, and account balances in general. So honestly, it looks pretty good to me. So once I click into my actual account on that screen, it brings me back to this one. So you're figuring this out with me live in action, but it seems like the blueprint is just a general overview that I can access, and I'm not really sure where from. It looks like maybe from this dashboard button. Let me try that. Okay, yep, so that's exactly how it works. You can go to this dashboard and the blueprint shows you everything all in one place, which is really nice. Now it shows me all my upcoming expenses, like the bills due on each of my credit cards, and my actual business credit cards are showing up down here now. So it looks like everything's updating over time, and I actually really like the look of this. I have heard though that you need a separate app for this business checking account, and it doesn't integrate perfectly with the normal Amex app. So that is something to keep in mind, because as I even came to my Amex app here, I do not see it in here. But if I go to the app store, I'll download the business checking account app. And while I was doing that, I figured out that they actually do have a separate blueprint app as well, which is interesting. I wonder how they all kind of integrate together, but we'll see. I downloaded both of them. Okay, cool. It looks like the blueprint app worked exactly as the online version did, as you can kind of see all of my account information here. It also allows me to transfer money through this app, which I don't think you can do in the normal business checking account, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go ahead and check out that app too, just to see what the differences are. Okay, and this one shows basically what that other screen showed once I clicked into my actual account, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why they don't just have like a master Amex account that controls all of these things at once, but now I have 3 different Amex apps that each can be used for their own purposes. I don't love that. I thought Amex would be a little bit better about that, but I'm gonna test it out for y'all, and maybe over time I'll make a review of this account if that's something y'all are interested in. Some of the cool things here is that it does give me a tracker for me to see exactly what I need to do to hit that bonus we were talking about, as well as it tells me the interest accrued and my membership rewards points. All that stuff we talked about in the desktop version is shown here on the app, and it looks like I can actually make a transfer on this app as well. So the blueprint app I can make transfers from, on top of having the Amex business checking account allow me to make transfers. This business checking account also allows me me to make deposits and pay people from it. So it definitely seems to be controlling my entire business checking account through this. The normal Amex app shows me all of my credit cards that I have open with them, personal and business. So it allows me to manage my card accounts from there. And I imagine if I did have like a personal savings account with Amex, it would show up in that app, but you know, maybe there's a fourth app for that one. I don't know. And then the Blueprint app seems to give you a general overview of all of your accounts in one place, but gives you a little bit less when it comes to what you can actually do in the app. Like I said, I'll be messing around with these and I'll let y'all know about it in a future video, as long as of course that's something you want to see. So make sure you leave a comment about that. But now all that's left to do is make that $5,000 worth of qualifying deposits, as well as make the 5 transactions that I have to do within the account. That way I can get the 30,000 point welcome offer that this account came with. And then I have to leave that money in there for 60 days, as we mentioned. But my main goal right now is going to be depositing that $5,000 over the course of 5 $1,000 transactions from my previous business checking account. And as long as I do that through ACH, it should satisfy all those requirements, as long as I then leave the money in there for 60 days. If you're interested in applying for some business credit cards to go along with this business checking account, I have 2 videos here that you can watch next. One me applying for the Amex Blue Business Plus, and one of me applying for the Amex Amazon Business Prime card. With that being said, as always, Odin and I want to say thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.